Oh, that's a big one.
Good job. So what are y'all doing?
We're helping.
Brother, brother, don't you know, it don't matter where you go, bad news has a way to seek you out. You can change the pace, you can run and hide, but that don't change the folks outside. The world just has a bite, it's pretty stout. Righteousness won't fill your cup, your dues you don't just won't add up. Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. Show them just what you're made of, and all your dreams will stand right up. It's all right there, just ready for the taking.
Welcome to Stivers Homestead, y'all. I'm Zach.
And I'm
Ray, that's right. So Jen got a little smaller. She's a little bit younger and doesn't speak as well as she normally does, but here she is. So I got Ray obviously here with me today because she's my little garden girl and it's the heat of the day, and if you follow our channel you know that is not Jen's best time of the life when it's so hot outside. But we're going away again this weekend. I know it. We do a lot of traveling, it seems like, here recently. But it's getting into that fall and winter time, and we like to do a couple things before it gets too cold, and so we're going to our favorite place in the world, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Are we gonna go spend time in the cabin? You excited? Mm-hmm. So what does that mean when we leave? It means we got a lot of work to do. That's right. So see this beautiful bed of tomatoes behind us? Come here, Ray, you out of the shot. You gotta stand here with me. We are pulling out these tomatoes and we're gonna start direct sowing some of our fall garden stuff. So we're not the hugest fans of direct sowing. We really like to start all of our seeds. We just have more control that way. I don't know, it's just our preference. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just our preference. But, oh, that was sweet, thank you. You got, what is that?
It's lipstick.
Lip balm? Oh, you think it's lipstick? Yeah. She thinks it's lipstick. It's 4-year-olds turning 16 right before my eyes. Well, anyways, we're gonna work on getting this bed pulled out. You gonna help me? Yeah? And then we're gonna get some things planted. So we're gonna take you on the road with us. Okay, so this is our variety bed. It's got our white cherries, our pink ox hearts, our black brandywines, our regular cherries, our Roma tomatoes, a little mix of everything, Aunt Ruby German greens. And it did us so well this year. We're so happy. You know, look how tall Ray is right there. And look at the plants. These were trees, they weren't plants. So they did awesome, but a lot of them, as you can tell, they gone. So it's time to remove this bed and start getting the fall stuff in because we're working on a timeline. We don't have a massive amount of space to where we can let these just completely go dead, but they're not producing near as much. So we're gonna take off all the green tomatoes that are on here. We'll probably fry them bad boys up and have them as a snack, and then we're gonna pull everything out. The comfrey, however, is stained. We're gonna keep that in here. It's healthy, it's beautiful, so we're gonna use the rest of this bed. What you doing? You doing a little workout? All right, Ray, pull them out. Get on it. You got this. Do it. We're gonna be here all day at that rate. All right, you think Daddy needs to step in and help you out? All right, I got you, girl.
Oh, that's a big one.
Good job. So what are y'all doing?
We're helping.
You pulling off the tomatoes and putting them in a bucket?
Yeah.
Good deal. Y'all are good helpers.
I found a baby one, Wyatt. I got a baby one. Look, I got a baby.
Good job. Wyatt, here's a good one over here.
Oh, that one's good. Baby one. Look, this one with a little bit. But I'll try it.
All right, so one thing I wanted to show you all is the grow bags. So the grow bags, you can see, are not completely decomposed. However, look at the root system in this tomato plant.
Yeah, and they've only been in the ground for about 3 or 4 months, so they, you know, it takes a whole lot longer for them to decompose, but I think that's pretty good. And I mean, the roots, you know, they don't get caught up whatsoever.
No, not at all. And you see how tall this plant was.
Yeah.
So it's been in a raised bed. And if you straighten him up, I'm 6 foot right on the dot, so that's at least 10 foot tall.
Yep.
At a minimum. So grow bags are a success, folks.
Love them.
They're so big.
So we had to show this one. This is an Aunt Ruby's German green root off a tomato plant.
That is crazy.
And I actually broke it, so it was longer.
Wow.
Look at that thing, y'all.
That is intense, coming straight out the side of the grow bag.
Yeah, that is amazing.
That is.
Okay, all the tomato plants are out, and all that's left is the weeds. So we just got to get this bed prepped and ready. So if you saw the previous video when I did this bed, all I used was the Hori Hori bare bones knife, bare bones Hori Hori knife. However, we're going to double team this one. So I'm still going to use my Hori Hori knife, but also I got a Haas tool spade, which this bad boy is very, very heavy duty as well. She is strong, and I'm ready to see how she does. So this is going to be a little bit different tool than, say, the Hori Hori knife. But I'm going to be double fisting this thing and seeing which one works best to try to clean out a bed. So let's get at it.
Do you feel like the sky is caving in? Most folks are feeling what you're feeling, 'cause we're all under the same sun. We all want to get things done. We all want to have our fun. We all want to get back to feeling good again. Oh, everything is always changing. The state of mind's in a state of rest. Let it all flow and be accepting. Then all you can do is hope for the best. Yeah, everything is always changing. The state of mind's in a state of rest. Let it all flow and be accepting. Then all you can do is hope for the best.
Another bed completely cleared out. There's something strangely satisfying about that, and I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss cutoffs, I'm gonna miss shorts, I'm gonna miss being barefoot in the garden and digging out a bunch of weeds. Man, winter can just hold off. You know, I'm okay with that. But before we get to planting, I want to talk about these tools. And I want you all to know, this is just completely my opinion. I would just like to test and learn and see what I prefer in different situations, and I'd like to share that with you all. So this bed I did over here was all used by Mr. Hori Hori. It's an awesome tool. This is actually like, to me, this is like the new universal, Swiss Army knife. Because it's got a rough blade, smooth blade. It also digs holes, and it's got measurements. So it's got a little bit of everything on it. But for this job specifically, it was a little harder just because the blade's not wide enough. This spade was awesome. So we have a lot of spades here. However, they're kind of, I guess just cheap is the best way to say it. So this isn't very strong. But on this one itself, it is so heavy duty like the Hori Hori, and it cut this dirt like butter. So it made it so easy to pull those weeds out and get all the way down to the bottom of the roots and pull up the whole thing. And so this is a Haas Tools. You can't see it now because it's completely covered in mud. But this is the Haas Tool spade. It's absolutely amazing. We are affiliated with them, so I don't want you all to think that I'm just doing this because we are. The reason that we're affiliated with them is because we really like their products. So this is a really cool tool. I'm going to use it to actually do the planting as well, because that's kind of what it's mainly made for. But for kind of hand tilling, this is my new tool I will use. The Hori Hori will always stay on the belt because it's great for a lot of other things too that this thing can't do. But this takes the win for hand tilling a garden bed. So we're gonna get to actually planting and direct sowing some fall garden stuff. Okay, so this bed right here, carrots, all the carrots. So we're gonna use this entire bed that's gonna be just straight up carrots. We'll have it so we can can it and do all that preserving and all the fun stuff that we love to do. So I'm going to treat this just like I did our summer carrots. I'm gonna make like a little trench. I'm gonna make probably 1, 2, I would say 3 rows all the way down. And we're gonna spread these seeds amongst all of them. I have 4 different varieties. We have, y'all know how good I am at this, Bolero carrot, that's from Haas Tools. We have the Homesteaders Collection carrot from M.I. Gardner. And then we got the Black Nubula carrot from Baker's Creek. So those are the carrots. I said 4, I meant 3. That's the carrots that we're gonna do, so I'll do them each in 3 rows, and we'll let these bad boys grow. And I'm super excited. So I love this bed. It's gonna be a completely carrot bed, and we're gonna grow all the stinking carrots. So the problem with direct sowing is we will have to come back and thin these out once they come up and get a little bit bigger, because we need to make sure that they're spaced out to where they can actually grow. So we'll get on that. We'll worry about that spacing in a later date. However, I'll show you how you can do it to try to help yourself out while you're direct sowing. Okay, here's what you want to do when you want to dig this little bitty trench for the carrots. I like doing a little trench just because they need to be very lightly covered for a carrot. They don't need much covering to actually get stuff done. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my little spade here, and I'm just going to run this down. So kind of on this line, just like this, all the way down this bed. Okay, there's trench 1. So I'm gonna do this 2 more times and then we'll get to planting. Okay, all 3 trenches are dug, and I'm gonna start actually planting the carrots. And I'm gonna show you how to do it. So I'm gonna put all the seeds in my hand, and then I'm gonna try to space them the best I can. And if I see any clumps that are like this, that you can see here, I'm gonna just break them up in my hand, because you really don't want a big clump laying right on top of your carrot seed. It's just not gonna work. So I'm going to start with the Baker's Creek Black Nubula carrot in this trench here. Okay, the first trench is done. I just very lightly covered it. See them couple little pieces of weed that snuck in. Very lightly covered. I did wet the dirt before I planted. However, I will go back and do it once we get that one and that one done. So I'm gonna do those real quick, and then I'll be right back with y'all. All right, y'all, they are planted. So the whole row is done. I got my 3 markers down there at the end to let me know, remind me of what's in there. But there's a lot of carrots planted in here. So one thing whenever you're doing direct sowing, especially with a very, very small seed like a carrot, over sow. Don't put 1, space it out, put 1, space it out, put 1. I sprinkle that bad boy all the way through the trench, and I will sacrifice a few to thin them out later down the road, rather than having a slim pickings because I tried to sow it too carefully. So don't be conservative on this situation. Throw them everywhere. Get them in that trench and let's let them grow, and then you can thin them later. But that is it for today. That is that entire bed. So we pulled up the variety tomatoes. I lost my helper. You know, Ray was here to start, and then even Wyatt came out, but he gone. So I got it done. I got all of our carrots done. This entire bed is gonna be carrots. I am very excited about it. I know the family will be. We really fell in love with our little summer carrots that we had this year, so we want to make sure to grow a lot more. So the transplants will be coming very soon into other beds, but we really wanted to get this done and get these started because it's time. We're about to get in some lower temperatures, and that's super exciting, mainly for Jen, not so much me. I'm going to miss the heat. I really am. I don't want my bones to get cold, but it is what it is. It's going to come whether I'm ready or not. So we might as well just embrace it and enjoy it. So there's the carrot bed. I hope you all are starting your fall garden and getting things in the ground and really getting ready for that. The Haas tools, if you're looking for that spade, it's down below in our description. The link to get to the Haas tools, and you can find it all there. The Hori Hori knife is still an amazing knife. We don't have an affiliation with that, but you can just search barebones.com, I believe is the website, and you can find that Hori Hori knife. The other things in there was a Baker Creek seed, and my gardener, and Haas tools. So we kind of hit the big three, as I call them, for our carrots. So kind of a test here on seeing which company seeds germinate the best, right? So we'll keep it up to date and see how they do in here. They were all treated exactly the same, so hopefully they all do exactly the same and do all very well, because I want them all. But it will be kind of cool to try and check that out. So here we are. Fall planting day, I think like day 4 complete. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Jen will be in the next one. Just too dang on hot out here for today. All right, y'all. Until the next one. Bye.